Got a box. Got a box. Got a box. Got a box. Box. Big box. Gibbs is here, and he doesn't intend to stop being here. Every single time I set up to shoot a video, he materializes and won't dematerialize. So I just got a box, as I probably just showed you. And this one's not from a viewer. This one is from eBay. And I spent more money on it than I probably should have, which I didn't know until after the fact. I thought I was getting a really good deal, and it turns out that actually I paid quite a bit over market, which was hard to find out. Because on eBay, you can only see stuff from the last, I don't know, 60 days or something like that in the normal search feature. If you want to see listings going back further than that to find out what things actually sell for historically, you have to get it used to be a third-party service called Terapeak, which was just doing like API access to eBay, I guess, which for some reason gives you access to more data. Maybe they're archiving it over time. I don't know. Anyway, eBay bought them and integrated their service into, I think it's called the eBay Seller Research or something like that, but it's just Terapeak, but I think it's worse. Anyway, after I bought this thing, I went on Terapeak, which I had forgotten I had a subscription to. I'd signed up for it many months ago, completely forgot. I've been paying $20 a month for no reason, and I really wish I'd known I had it, because I really would have liked to have been using that all this time. Anyway, I paid, for the item I have here, I paid $510, and the actual market price for better ones is between $350 and $450. So I really got taken to the cleaners on this. And on the one hand, it's a bummer. On the other hand, they don't show up all that often. So I'm really grateful to all the people who contributed to make it possible for me to buy that when it showed up. I actually put a massive bid down on it. But anyway, I'm really grateful to all the people who helped me buy this thing, and I hope it ends up being as interesting and satisfying as I imagined it in my head. You might recall from the beige whale video that one of my white whales is an IBM PS2 Model 25 all-in-one with a 386 or a 486 processor. This isn't that. It's actually rarer and weirder than that. It's very close to that, though. Let me just go ahead and get this thing out so you can see what the hell I got. How am I going to do this? I'm stuck behind this table because there's all these cables here from the video that I've been trying to shoot. Ah, come on. Gibbs is so upset that I'm moving him. Now, I'm really hoping that the shipper packed this as well as I asked him to, because it's probably very fragile. There's a possibility that I get this thing out and it doesn't work. But he really went ape on the packing material. There's so much bubble wrap in here, it might be okay. Look out, Gibbs! Look out! Oh. Man, that feels like it should be about 20 minutes. It's upside down. I just found out my mic fell off a long time ago, and I've been talking into a dead mic. So this is an IBM EduQuest. They made a few different models of them, but I don't think they made a ton of them all together. I've certainly not seen that many. They apparently show up on eBay every 6 months or so. One will pop up. Anyway, this is their educational system, and it's in the same vein as the IBM PS2 Model 25 that I said I really wanted. And you know, I thought that getting one of these would pretty much alleviate any desire to get a Model 25, but I'm looking at it and like, this is quite a bit bigger than I thought it was. It's still very cool. I'm still gonna, you know, keep it and love it, but I just thought it was smaller. I think in my head, the Model 25 is about yay big, maybe, instead of the yay big that this thing is. Now, before I bought this, I had read on a fan page about these things that Model 25s are, and he's back. I'd read on a fan page that people think these are about the size of a Model 25, and in reality, they're quite a bit bigger. But then I had a comparison photo, which I'll put there, which seemed to indicate that it was only a little bit bigger. I could be wrong about the size of the 25, but whew, this is a big boy. So I think I'd still like a 25 at some point, but maybe not quite as driven as I was, and maybe I'd be happy with an 8088 model, which are a lot more common than the other ones. Anyway, so this thing is A little heavier than I expected. It's got a lot of weight in the front. In fact, it's kind of front heavy, which I guess... Bye, Gibbs. Gibbs, scoot. I will show you the computer as soon as Gibbs allows me. He's just going to make it impossible for me to show you this computer. Lay down. He always does this when I want to shoot video. So it's actually, it's very heavy. And it's front heavy. Damn it, Gibbs. Don't sit down in front of the computer. So this thing is pretty heavy. It's very front heavy, which isn't surprising because the monitor is up here, right? But like, it kind of wants to tilt forward almost. I can really see how, let's see, I think, okay, there's not that much danger of like tilting over, but it does feel just a little more front heavy than you'd expect. On the front, we've got a high density floppy drive, 1.4, right? It's not a 2.8. Yeah, it's only 1.4. And then we have, I think, yeah, that's a caddy loading CD-ROM, and I don't have any caddies, but it looks like a, you know, that might be SCSI. I don't know. If it's SCSI, then that sucks, because I don't have a ready replacement for it, and I don't really want to play the game of trying to, you know, keep a working SCSI CD-ROM around, because I feel like they're probably pretty expensive these days due to Macs. But I don't know. Maybe they're thick on the ground, so maybe I can get a SCSI drawer loader for this. Or maybe I'll just get the CD caddy. Maybe this works. I've always wanted to have CD caddies around. Anyway, what do we have for controls? Got your basic monitor, brightness, contrast controls under here, and then big chunky power switch. On the back, intriguing. So, all right, we got, it's a PS2. It's from that era and that family. So it's got PS2 keyboard and mouse. Good. Interesting. Serial, but it's DB25 serial. That's an interesting choice. IBM was using DE9 serial right from the first IBM PC, I believe. 25 for that's kind of surprising. Then parallel, that could be parallel, but I kind of feel like it's more likely SCSI. I think that might be a SCSI card. That one, I want to say, is almost certainly an Ethernet card like it looks. And then, interesting. I don't know what this is over here. There's a 9-pin connector here. I guess it could be a second serial port. It has an FCC, little FCC warning on it, so, it's interesting. Not sure what to make of several of these ports here. The other thing is, and I hadn't noticed this in the pictures, the back here is very rusty. Like, not all of it, but there's speckles of rust all over everything, and there's very thick rust crusted on this PCI slot. I'm gonna have to do like a restoration on this thing. Maybe I'll do a restoration video. I don't do that sort of thing very often, but maybe people would like that. In the pictures it worked, and as much as I want to open this thing up and like really go over it before I do anything, I think I'm just gonna turn it on. I'm sort of violating one of my own rules here, which is you never turn on a hard drive or something that might have a hard drive in it unless you're ready to back up the hard drive. However, one, I don't know if this thing has a hard drive. Two, the seller had it turned on right before he shipped it, and I doubt it got destroyed in shipping, honestly, or if it did, it's too late for it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick shot. If I can find out if it has a hard drive, that'll answer some questions, because I'm not really sure how to open this thing yet. It doesn't look straightforward. Kind of looks like I'm going to have to take the entire back chassis off in order to get inside, except that it looks like the motherboard sort of area down here is on a tray that might slide out, but I doubt, if there is a hard drive in there, I doubt that's going to give me access to it. So I'm not looking forward to opening this thing, if I'm perfectly frank. I'll have to do that later. For the moment, I just got to know, if it works. There's no video out on this thing, at least not that I know of. I guess the DE9 on the back could be a video out, but I doubt it, because the internal video card wouldn't have exposed a connector for that. So that's got to be an add-on card, and if that is the case, then it can't be driving the internal display. So anyway, I'm going to assume this does not have any way to get video out of it. So I'm just going to have to rotate this so that we both hopefully can see it. I'm just going to turn it on, and Godspeed. It would really help if I turned on the power strip. All right, here we go. You see me recoiling? Okay, there is a hard drive. I heard it spin up. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, so it says there's a problem with the keyboard, which doesn't surprise me because this keyboard... Oh, there we go. Whoops. Sorry, the cable on this Model M, I think it's a Model M, fell out, so I had to plug it back in, and then it got freaked out. Let's try that again. Let me just turn this around, and I'll get video of it. That makes a lot more sense. All right, so it was complaining about a stuck key, but I mashed all the keys, and now that's good. It looks like it actually has a built-in BIOS utility, which I didn't expect. Let's see what that looks like. Well, I'm pressing F2, but it's not proceeding. Okay, can we control delete? Yes. Oh, it's got the little animation as it starts up. Oh, it's a Phoenix BIOS. It's ironic that at this point, IBM was buying their BIOS from someone else, but oh my God, it has a password? Wait, what? Oh, I guess that makes sense. That's for the BIOS configuration. Okay. Let's try booting it without going into the BIOS config. Okay. Oh, there's a floppy disk in there. I thought there was a hard drive. Maybe there is a hard drive, but it's definitely booting off the floppy disk right now. I didn't even notice there was a disk in there. This is the local science menu, and we've got various programs that may or may not be here. Let's see what this disk is. What this disk is stuck. Okay, well, I'm not gonna make trouble with that. Let's see if any of this works. Let's try PSL. Personal Science Laboratory Explorer. Well, I'd better archive this floppy disk really fast. The screen looks fantastic compared to my Compaq CDS 524, which is my other all-in-one machine that I haven't done a video about yet. I need to do that. But yeah, this looks fantastic. Looks like unable to open PSL communications. So I guess whatever this is, it depends on a server. That's cool. Huh. Or actually, I wonder if this depends on actual external equipment. Maybe this plugs into some sort of external, like, sensing setup. I notice there's no option to just go to DOS here. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like that. Let's try, this thing here says start Windows Science Program. So if I hit that, oh, there we go. Windows 3. 3.1, in fact. And that's loading off the hard drive. I'm going to assume this is sort of like lightly locked down. Okay, yeah, and it was expecting to load off of L, which is the CD-ROM. This looks pretty crisp. Anyway, so if we don't have the CD-ROM, does it let us just get in here and do stuff? Yeah. Yeah, so the machine works. It's got a working hard drive, which I'll have to archive as quickly as possible. And it's got a working floppy drive. This came from Dell Rapids High School. I'll have to look that up. It says there's 22 megs of memory free. Given that this is Windows 3.1, it can't be using that much RAM just to run. So I'm thinking this is a 24 megabyte machine. That's pretty dope. I think I could run. I might be able to run Windows 95 on this. It's got a little bit of gaussing going on the screen, a little bit of distortion in the corner. The image doesn't fill the whole screen. I wonder if that's intended or if I can adjust that. Well, anyway, I got to get a mouse and stuff in order to use this fully. And obviously, I want to archive the hard drive and the floppy drive and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away. And it'll show up on a channel video because I'm going to go ahead and actually do a video, I think, of the whole process of opening it up, cleaning it, pulling the hard drive and floppy drive, archiving the hard drive and the floppy, getting the floppy unjammed and all that nonsense. I'm going to try and get myself to actually do a thorough, just sort of normal YouTuber video on this thing because more than anything, it's cool just because of what it is and probably not. Well, maybe, I guess it might be cool because of its connections to what it did, come to think of it. I got to go learn more about EduQuest. I was pretty sure there was a whole universe of software in like the EduQuest ecosystem, and if that's the case, if I can go learn about that, maybe get it, maybe demonstrate it, maybe I can figure out what server this wanted to connect to, if that really is a thing, then that could be cool. But at first, I think I'm just going to do an object video, just a show and tell video on it, if I can get myself to get around to doing it. It's really hard for me to do videos where I don't really do a narrative as much as I just go, here's a thing, look at the thing. But I know people still like those. So more than anything, just wanted to show the people who helped me buy this, which was all the people in my patron Discord. Thank you so much. I couldn't have gotten this without your help. I didn't have the money on hand. I would not have bid nearly as much as I did. I don't want any of us to feel like we got ripped off because, you know, I couldn't have gotten it for $350 or $400. I wish I could have. That would have been fantastic, but other people were willing to pay more. So maybe there was a LGR video or something that drove the price on these up. I don't know. I don't know why it went for so much when none of the other ones seemed to go for that much. The other ones that went for cheaper are actually better machines. There's like I think a 46 version that keeps selling for like $350. So, you know, best, fastest, most is not always the right metric for collecting things, or for being interested in things. And those other machines may have come with no hard drive, no software. The fact that this appears to be in pretty much the state it was when it was being used is very exciting. And if that's not the case for the other ones, then I don't mind having paid $150 more than perhaps I should have in order to get that stuff. That stuff is the real treasure. You know, the machine itself is interesting and appealing. The fact that it's an all-in-one 386 is pretty cool, quote unquote, just because those are rare. I mean, what am I saying? I have an all-in-one 486 sitting right here. It just sucks. But really, it's the stuff on it that I'm more interested in, going through all that, seeing what that's about, because I'm very familiar with like educational software from the Windows 95, 98 era. This is educational software from the Windows 3 and DOS era. And while there is some of that around, a lot of it's very bare bones. The stuff that I've seen is just like stuff that got ported over from the Apple II that I reviewed on like Big Blue Disc and ended up getting ported to PC, that sort of thing. This one is interesting because the software that's on there looks a lot more comprehensive. It really looks like somebody was putting their back into this. So yeah, I'm fairly excited to see what's actually on there. Anyway, like I said, I really appreciate your help, both on the normal Patreon and the extra donations for getting this thing. Hopefully I don't let you down with it, but at least it arrived intact. No damage, powers up. So that's a great place to start. Take it easy, folks. See you later.